my gargoyle. The Truce of Bakura. This story takes place immediately after Return of the Jedi, where Luke is still recovering from his end battle with Palpatine and the Force lightning that he inflicted on him. I think it was really cool that it takes time. It took quite a bit of time for him to recover from that fully. And from the movies, it seems like it doesn't take long to recover from it at all. In this book, it takes a while to recover from it, and I really like that. Leia is still dealing with the fact that Darth Vader is her father, and dying. Not much else to say about that, but it comes up later on in the story, which is probably the best part of the book. I'm not gonna lie. It's the only thing I knew about this story, and it's why I read it. The Alliance intercept a distress signal from the Imperial world Bakura. Now, Bakura is at the edge of the known galaxy. They're known for making repulsor tech, and they're being invaded by their only neighbors, the Searook. I think that's how you say it. I hope that's how you say it, the Searook. Now, the Searook are basically velociraptors with guns, which is wild. I can't believe this is in Star Wars, and I like it. I'm a fan. Hope to see more of them. Now, the Force makes them sleepy, which I think is lame, to say the least. I'm not a fan of that, but it's a good plot device. They rely on this technology called entekment, which steals sentient beings' souls to power their own technology, which that is cool. I'm a fan of that. That is epic, and I hope we see more of that. They also kidnapped and brainwashed this Force-sensitive kid named Dev, and they convinced him that he wants the entekment, even though it's a very painful process, which is nightmarish, especially if you're being kidnapped by velociraptors. Must have taken a lot of convincing. So Luke leads a very small fleet to go assist Bakura, defend them against the invasion of the Searook. I can't say it to save my life. And they want to convince them to join the rebellion since, the Imperial leadership is no more. As soon as they get there, Han and Leia have a hot date with wine at the back of the Falcon, prepared by Chewie, which who knew Chewie was so romantic? He has a wife and son, so, it's kind of a given, I guess. Then a battle breaks out. So they're having this date in the heat of battle, and it wasn't the place to have a date, and it takes a little bit for them to come up and actually help out, which I think is a little bit out of character, but, oh well. There's some weird things in these books, turns out. Just now figuring that out. They should have canceled a lot sooner, and Han's annoyed they has to cancel. I'm like, dude, people are dying. You gotta get with the program here, man. One really cool thing about this story is the news of Endor hasn't spread to the rest of the galaxy because of it only being like a few days afterwards once they reach Bakura. And the Imperials are in disbelief and don't believe it happened, which, I could see it from their angle. Then the Imperials and Rebels end up forming a truce, that's where the title of the book comes in, to defend Bakura from this alien invasion. Now, the best part of the book, by far, this makes this book. It literally does. It is so good. This is the only thing I knew about it before I read it. This is the reason I decided I wanted to read it. So Anakin appears to Leia as a Force ghost. He tells her he's been forgiven and that he has a lot to atone for. That he's very proud of her strengths and only asks for forgiveness and wants to rid her of her anger. Which is nice of Anakin, considering he killed all the kids, Well, Leia says she'll never forgive him for what he did to Han, even though he killed the younglings, killed all the Jedi, murdered her entire planet, made her watch, and murdered countless other people she loved. I'm glad that Han being tortured for a little bit is where the lines crossed. She specifically said she could forgive him all the other stuff he did, including everything I mentioned probably, if she knows about all that. He made her watch her planet explode. She can forgive him for that, but not torturing her boyfriend. I don't know. I figured you'd be mad about all the other stuff too, since, you like helping people. I've never been in that situation. Maybe I'd agree, but, So Anakin tells her that never is too large of a word, that he'll be watching if she changes her mind, which is very Anakin, I guess. He also mentions that he doesn't know if he'll be able to appear to her again. Don't know what that's about. That's not explained. Hope it's explained later, because I want to know why they can't appear anymore. I think Obi-Wan said it in this book too at some point. Because I know he showed up in the beginning. I don't remember too much of that. I should take notes. So Luke falls for this girl named Gariel, who is a political figure from Bakura. Now, she hates Force users up until Luke uses the Force on her grandma, whose mind is broken from the Imperials, heals her, and turns out she's a freedom fighter, and so freed her from her broken brain. After that, she starts to like him. That was nice. I liked that. It was cool. But what I didn't like is Luke basically asking the Force ghosts for girl advice, and they don't show up. I wouldn't show up either. Like, figure it out, guy. And so that was strange, but I guess he is. Well, how old is he? I don't know how old he is. He's probably like 23 or something. He's my age. I did the same thing, you know. Can't blame him. It's funny, though. It's really funny. But I'm reading it, I'm like, dude, what are you doing? Just go at it, dude. And a really funny part of this book, Han puts 3PO in Stormtrooper armor. I don't know, I thought it was cool. I wrote it down after I read it. It was nice. Later on in the book, the truce ends because the Imperials put parasites in Luke's food because he's about to go up to their ship and, you know, do what he does best, Jedi things. To kill him and kill the Sea-Rook in one go. So he'd kill him, spread the Sea-Rook, kill them as well. Invasion done for. But even though they could kill like so many people before the parasites spread to all of them, not a good plan. But Luke uses the Force to get them out and then slices him with his lightsaber. Then Luke finds Dev and they team up, and then Dev gets severely injured and dies. And after he died and the whole invasion is, you know, taken care of, Luke decides to name the ship that Dev was held captive on after him. Luke, you kind of suck for that, guy. Like, that's not cool. Luke, name something else after him. You don't have to name the ship after him. He was held captive on against his will. I don't think that was a good part. And he says Dev changed his mind. Doesn't mention that he was brainwashed and held captive for 5 years. But he says he changed his mind and that it's all cool now. Now, you guys need to, like, respect him in his death because he changed his mind. He didn't change his mind. He was brainwashed. And he was held captive from these velociraptors with guns. Didn't like that. Luke, you need to get things together, man. Then Commander Thanos, who is Thanos. Then Commander Thanos of the Imperials surrenders and defects to the Rebel Alliance after seeing what the Imperials did. And with that, Bakura aligns with the Alliance for them helping them defend their planet against the Sea-Rook, and, you know, the Imperials not really helping that much. So with that said, I'd like to give this story a B on my tier list. I feel like it was better than the last book I read. There's some weird spots with Luke asking the Force Ghost for girl advice, Han and Leia's date, and Dev changing his mind even though he was brainwashed for 5 years. Luke, you really dropped the ball on that one. It was really drug down the story, but what really brought it up was the Force Ghost Anakin talking to Leia. That was the best part. Loved it. That alone would give this an S if those weird places weren't in here. It would probably bring it out to A, if I'm honest. I'm just exaggerating. The villains are strange. I wonder if they're into anything else. I'd like to see more of them. What else could they be in? I feel like this is a one and done, but even though I kind of dogged on the design, I really like it. Just Jurassic Park with guns. It was cool. I'd like to know why Anakin might not be able to appear again. Is there another story where that's explained later on? Just let me know if that's true. I'd like to read that. I want Anakin to come back. I want Anakin to talk to Luke some more. Like, I want some stories of that as well. But yeah, all around great book. Really liked it. Next up, the Heir to the Empire trilogy. I got some comics the other day. As in yesterday and the day before. I don't know why I said the other day. And so I know that Dark Empire takes place after the Thrawn trilogy and before the Jedi Academy trilogy. Now I have both of those. So I've read the Dark Empire trilogy before, but I might be interested in covering it if I can get all the issues. I feel like it would be nice. It's a good story. It's definitely, for whatever reason, what Disney decided to try to adapt, even though it was awful. And I feel like this is a better story than that, with that kind of like Palpatine Returns thing. There's like I feel like it's comic book fun. I might be interested in talking about it. If anyone's interested in me talking about it, just let me know. The Crimson Empire takes place after that. I've read this as well. I like it. I feel like it's just 90s comic book fun. Now, I wasn't alive in the 90s, but I've read this before and it just screams 90s. So, I'd really like to get into this, but I only have one issue. Just let me know about those. I'll work on getting more. Adios.